Excuse me while I whip this out.
Se va, sáquenme la botella que funda para gastarle. Esta noche tú y yo nos vivimos la película. Luces, cámara, la acción, después en mi recámara. En el duelo no se sabe quién ganará. Eso baila y bebe, ese seguro y retrocede. Que me encanta la manera en que tú lo mueves.
Solo pégate un poquito, mami, que yo quiero enseñarte lo que yo tengo para ti. Lo que tengo para ti. Sé que te va a encantar.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Primetime Studios on this Sunday edition. Not only the Lord's Day, but the day that football is brought to us normally when we aren't taking over Mondays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays later on in the year. And I've grown to love that. But one thing is for sure, here on this Sunday edition, of course, Gametime Bryan, Primetime Phil, coming at you, kind of narrowing everything down from the free agency to the trades that are kind of considered free agency from the Joneses' perspective, but not from fans. But as a fan, Gametime Bryan, welcome, sir.
Welcome back. What's going on, Primetime Phil? What is going on? Sunday, bow the knee. Everybody, bow. I dropped I was heartbroken. I don't like leaving my dog, so I left my dog. Me and my wife went out this morning. I forgot when Phil was like, how about a Sunday morning show? I'm like, yeah. I had a big day planned at Home Depot, right? Now I had to drop my dog off at the vet at PetSmart, if you saw my morning video. But we didn't realize we had to leave her there. She'll be there for the afternoon. We got to go back later. But yes, we are excited here. We are just about 39 days away, Phil, from the NFL draft that we will be attending. We will have a journey of our own. Phil will be flying into Philly. We'll be picking him up, and we will set out for our 4.5-hour drive, hopefully, safely, through the mountains.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun, Phil.
When Mark later on said, well, yeah, the airport's right there, I was like, shit, I guess I could have got it. I could have got out there.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have went because I'm not driving to Pittsburgh by myself. That was the whole idea.
Like me drive with you there, but actually fly out of a different hotel. I don't think you can do that, right? I don't know if they do.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They don't do it as a package deal, you know.
This is how it was meant to be. I guess I would have drove home myself, but
I like it. I like how it's all kind of. It's gonna be a longer day.
I think we're gonna be fine. We're gonna get out of there early on Saturday. I was talking to Wade Kuiper right before we went live, and he called me. And Wade Kuiper, who's listening in, driving to San Antonio, working on a Sunday, making that money.
Do you know where he was coming from?
Well, he's in Dallas, so he's going from Terrell to San Antonio, something like that. But anyway, I'm doing well. Ready to talk some Cowboys football, Cowboys free agency, break down everything they've done, and Cowboys draft, right?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to, I know you've been talking about it on your channel. I've jumped on there. We've talked, you've been kind of discussing things with Mark. You guys have had your duo, not like the Time Brothers type of situation, but definitely the Godfather, and I can't disrespect on that sense. I love having Mark around. I always love giving him shit. I love that we've gotten past that point where, I don't mind giving some help.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're good at it too. You're a lot better than I do. I go from 0 to 60. Phil would just get his quiet digs in, and Mark doesn't realize he's getting lit up. He's getting just pepper.
Until one of them he catches on, and I'm just like, there you go. He caught it.
Yeah. Me, I'll just say, come on, Mark, shut your dude. I was so upset that one time.
And me, I'm laughing.
I was so upset when we left the Dallas game, and Mark, we just got smoked by the Eagles, and Mark just would not stop talking like Stephen Jones for like 20 minutes. Finally, I just had to say, dude, shut up with the Stephen Jones For I snap. Anyway, let's
Oh,
talk
trust
some
me, I
football.
know exactly how you feel
What's
in the
up, West
sense
Virginia?
that sometimes I know as fans we get upset even how the Joneses talks just because obviously they say one thing, do they mean another thing? When you look at the overall free agency, I'm not busting the budget. Sometimes you just need to kind of shut your mouth about certain things. Obviously, intentions were there. I think if I tell my kid I intended to buy you a new PlayStation 5, but it didn't just quite happen and stuff like that. Here's this nice Nintendo, is it the same? No, man. I guess I like that you were in line to buy it and stuff like that, but it doesn't mean the same if you never came back home with it and stuff like that. And I think that's how Dallas Cowboy fans feel in the sense of a lot of the, jerking around. I really honestly never thought Max Crosby was even a possibility or even a sniff. The fact that it was in the conversation was kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, Wade Kuiper, he wants every big move out there, right? Wade, just stay on the road, stay between the lines, brother. But I know he's listening. That's why I'm breaking the stones. But it's still a possibility. Let's not kid ourselves. But I don't think it is for this year's draft picks. I don't. And I don't. I think he actually will play with the Raiders to start the year. I think you will revisit that near the trade deadline. That's where I think this is going, everybody. Walker Wade's in the chat. Yes, Wade Kuiper says, hell yes. What's up, Eagles Drew? How are you? I love I'm looking at your work here. I'm loving the AI. I'm digging it, brother. So,
thank you, man. I'm trying to dig more
very
into
cool.
it, trying to incorporate it. I know a lot of the stuff that I used to do before was me piecing everything together, but man, this helps me in so many shortcuts and stuff like that. So, and able to kind of bring in a different element, and I really kind of like it as well too.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to get Bryan on board as well.
Yeah, I got to get my act together again.
Yeah, you're doing great, man. Don't even worry about it. If it's
no,
not
when
broke,
it comes
don't
to
fix
that, I know that, but everybody loves everybody loves your bells and whistles. So that's why it's actually good that I don't do it all. I do need to do some. I do need to do some overlays. Just to look just like general.
Yes, I have a whole list of them that I just kind of pop out. Like I could just go.
But my problem is
I'm gonna give you.
I'll give you full.
I'll give you a rundown right now, guys. These are just ones that I have saved. They're not the ones for this broadcast, but I could just go through, and I have just ones that I have saved that I could just build stuff off of.
Yeah.
And that's how I kind of built my library of stuff. But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of once you start going, you start seeing what works, what doesn't
once
work.
I figure it out, I'm pretty good. So but I need to get a lot of stuff off this computer. This is it's a very cool Alienware computer, but it doesn't have a lot of storage. I need to get rid of all my gaming stuff off of it, all my games and all my.
Did you
Steam.
add an external storage onto it?
I don't have. I bought a bigger hard drive, but I don't have an external storage. But
see, some
we
of that
could talk
external
about
stuff, like you just put the stuff that you don't grab every single day.
Yeah,
in that way.
Yeah, and that's probably what I can do. So that'll be the next move. But one thing at a time. But let's circle back and let's talk some football, brother.
Yes. So we were obviously talking about in the beginning what the talk was, the bust the budget, and obviously was to get some signage. But really, the main one was obviously Max Crosby is in their eyes. Now, would that have solved everything, Bryan?
Max Crosby, no. And yeah, to your point, some people will say, well, that's like putting lipstick on a pig. And if I am Christian Parker, that's a good question you brought up. If you're Christian Parker, what's your thoughts on Max Crosby? I mean, what's your honest thoughts? Do you want him? Or do you want to draft, right?
Yeah. I mean,
that's the thing. I mean, that's a real question, people.
Yeah.
A young coach probably doesn't want to
coach as much. You have so much more of the responsibilities than be worrying about bringing a young guy up. I guess maybe in some ways.
Curious the dynamic of what's being said inside the Star, right?
Yeah.
We report on it, but what is going on inside the Star with that dynamic? He's obviously has full control over personnel at this point. Clearly. And we sometimes to the detriment of the team. We've seen that, right?
Yeah, I agree. I'm sorry, I'm reading some of these comments, and I think these guys are hitting it on the head. A lot of these, Alturo says no max damaged goods. Drew says a lot of activity in the teams in the NFC East, but nothing spectacular. And then Ultra Cowboy says Cowboy fans are delusional, thinking Max is coming to Dallas. Not happening. And that's where I was like from the beginning. I was like, well, that's really kind of nice to talk about and have this whole thing. Right. So as far as they got, it was kind of surprising to me. Being in conversations with talks, that is not surprising because it seems like everybody that wants to get a payday or something, oh, the Cowboys are involved and stuff like that, doesn't make it doesn't mean as much. It's just other than getting publicity, right?
Yeah. And again, I like the idea, especially now. I did a mock draft and, you know, I really didn't pre-plan it. I really tried to, and I try and switch it up. I don't want to do the same mock draft, but it did change a little bit. And Bain very well may be there at 12. I still don't think Downs makes it to us. I know Wade Kuiper thinks he will. I don't think Downs makes it past Washington, to be honest with you.
I think you got to go get him if you want him.
Yeah, and I'm not on that. I was earlier, but now I'm more looking at let the draft work. Again, there's going to be players that fall that we could trade or take ourselves, right? I think you need to maximize your draft. I'm not saying trade down, but it all depends how it works. But if a Bain is there at 12, that is a no-brainer. Now, when some would say if Bain and Styles are there, what do? It's like, well, maybe you trade down one spot and you take who's left, you know, but I don't know, man. That would be an interesting. If Bain and Styles are there at 12, what would we do? Who would you go with?
Oh man, that would be hard. I don't know. I couldn't.
No, thank you.
I wouldn't be able to say. I would be sitting there taking up the whole 10 minutes trying to figure it out.
That would be tough.
That would be an extremely tough one. I think that you'd be extremely happy that you would have that tough decision.
You would have a good decision, but
amazing decision.
I'm thinking they would probably go. I think they would go with the corner. I think they would go the safety. I do.
No doubt. You know,
but I don't know. I don't know that to be a fact.
So obviously, with that whole thing happening and then not happening and everything, they had to pivot, right? Obviously, teams had to pivot, and we obviously all know what happened later on with the Ravens and what all little blow up happened. And I don't know if you heard, Brian, but the Ravens didn't actually fulfill the trade, so I don't know if you knew that. But
what did I know? What did I?
No, I'm saying I didn't know if you did. If you knew that the Ravens didn't go through with the trade, I'm just saying.
Yeah. We knew. Everybody.
Yeah, just big news, you know. That's all.
Everybody on Earth and probably on other planets have heard that by now. The Ravens. But we'll see.
So as I was talking about, they had to pivot, and so this pivoting move and making some trades and stuff. They go and trade another 4th round draft pick, which you know, this team usually in the 4th round does great on the drafting part of that, and so they tend to give that one away. And that one was the draft pick that went with Rashawn Gary. How are you liking the move, and how do you feel that he fits into this? And that's to say system, because we don't know what the system is, but just defense.
Well, he fits really well with what we're trying to do. He had 7.5 sacks through 7 games, then went invisible for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't have the answer as to why. Rashawn Gary was a 1st round drafted player back in, I believe, 2022. I want to say, put in the comments, people. He suffered the ACL in 2022. So I don't know if he was drafted in 2020. I don't know. Put in the comments where he was drafted. Maybe 21 or 20. But anyway, he suffered the ACL, and he has never really gotten back to where he probably should be. But, you know, he is a more all-around player. I know a lot of people say, well, why don't we bring back Jadeveon Clowney? Well, because Clowney can't do a lot of the things that Gary can do. Unfortunately, in a 3-4 system, there will be times where you have to, instead of coming forward, you flip your hips and drop back into zone. I know you don't want to see, but Gary's not your pure pass rusher. Beat a double team, beat the guy in front of him. He is more of a straight line, just a tough SOB coming forward, but does have the athletic ability to drop in a spot. From time to time. Plus, he plays the run very well for a defensive end. Again, my opinion only, and recent history, Phil, is that You do not have to win a Super Bowl with a unbelievable edge rusher. You do not. That's why I just answered my own question. If Bain and Downs is there, I think they go Downs.
So, you know what I like, and I'm going to point out, and I'm not the original thinker of this one, but I love where this is at. Because we're talking about free agency, and when you're talking about the free agency moves and downs and stuff like that, the safety moves that we've made right now, does that stop you from drafting a guy like Downs?
No. Again, PJ Locke, we love him. Reunited with defensive coordinator Christian Parker on a 1-year, $5 million deal.
I'm gonna walk you.
I like PJ Locke a lot.
What number is he?
I don't know what his number is.
Number 1.
I know, but he was number what?
He's number 1. He's taking the number 1, and
is he?
Yes. So he had a picture of it and everything.
Wow.
And Tolbert,
well,
obviously
that was
being gone.
Tolbert, right?
Tolbert being gone. Now I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna walk you through it. Now let's say Wanye Thomas obviously goes and leaves and goes to another team, and I wish him the best. And obviously, you know, I was a big Wanye fan.
Wanye.
But that was number 2. So Caleb Downs, if you draft him, put him in number 2. Who's number 1? Lock down.
Lockdowns.
I'm just saying, you know, if that ain't meant to be
we
anything.
gotta get Downs. I don't think Downs makes it out of the first top 10. But
I just say lockdown to 1-2. Boom.
Lockdowns. What's up, Bobby? How are you, brother?
I'm just saying that's a whole gimmick right there. So I mean, you could run with that and have fun all day with that. But anyways, no. So when you're looking at this, of course, the defense,
Claire?
a lot of the moves being done defensively. Let's go through some of these moves. I'm going to give a mixture because it's going to be offense, defense. Some guys re-signing. Of course, one of the bigger moves that we had, the re-signing, was, of course, Javonte Williams re-signing here in Dallas. How are you feeling about that move?
Dude, that deal, everybody was complaining. Just look at what just look at what Kenneth Murray got. Just look at Javonte Williams re-signed a 3-year, $24 million contract after rushing for over 1,200 yards. Again, and we could talk about it, but I thought Javonte, although not an explosive, he's a Timu version of Emmett for me because he's low to the ground, always falls forward, tough to get your initial hit on, and just seems like he's totally back from the injury, and we got him on a sweetheart deal. Trust me, that $24 million, I believe his cap hit for year 1 was $3.4 million. So there's a lot of incentives to make it up to that $24 million. So I think it's a perfect move. Javonte does not stop us from getting a Jeremiah Love if he should drop to 12. I know what people are thinking. Wade Kuiper says trade away from him. But if Jeremiah Love drops to 12, that would be a good conversation to have, right? If, let's say, Bain and Downs are both gone, you're looking at a wide receiver, let's say Jordan Tyson, Jeremiah Love is there. Jeremiah had a bullfrog, you draft his ass, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me.
So with that re-signing, obviously the franchise tag is put on Pickens. What they're going to do with that, still up in the air. Are they being wise? Are they being idiotic about it? Yeah, they all look like they're being idiotic about it. But, hey, that's from our point of view. And, of course, we don't know the inside stuff. We don't really know if there's meetings going on, if people are having conversations. You don't really know who to trust when it comes to conversations just being talked about. Oh, well, nobody's talked,
right,
or they have talked, or, you know, we just don't know who to believe.
Yeah.
But with that, obviously he gets put on this next upcoming year for the Cowboys at a $27-point-something million sticker at the time. And even if they franchise him next year, obviously it elevates up, but still not at that point of where his average would be. How are you feeling about him in the possibility of having to play on this franchise tag going into this year?
Yeah, no. Again, this is unpopular to me. You either have to sign him long term or trade him.
Agreed.
And I'm sorry, everybody. I know everybody loves George Pickens, but again, you can't have him play on the franchise tag. It's just not. It's not worth it. I don't know that anybody thinks Dallas is a absolute Super Bowl team. So. Even with him. So why, again, get draft capital, even if you got a 1 next year. let's say you got a 1 next year and a 2 this year. Let's say you got a 2 this year and then you get a 1 next year, something like that. I would want a 1 this year, but a 1 next year, that draft is great. I would try and move him, even if it was for a 3rd this year and a 1 next year, if you can't get a good deal. But Dallas probably won't have any meaningful conversations until July, which means, good luck. I just don't like it. I've been on both sides of this. I would like him back, but it needs to happen now.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm not a big fan of this. I understand their strategy in the sense of well, it's lower than the price, but no.
Then I would
when
trade
you start
him.
putting in bonuses and stuff, it brings that value down. And again, are you worried that he's going to act a certain way because he gotten paid? Is this way? I think that's why there's going to be a big fight in the sense of maybe contract talks, what their contract agency is going to want in their contracts compared to what Dallas is going to want, whether they want a compensation of, not like normal contracts where the big one goes, they have to have a leadership clause in there. This one won't have that, but maybe a behavior clause. Let's just be real. I mean, if you're sticking those type of things, that's not going to be something that the agent wants, but that might be your hold off right now.
Yeah, and that's funny. Eagle Drew says, "Time brothers, you better pay him before Puka and St. Brown get paid." Yeah, I agree, but honestly, Drew, I'm on the. I know people hate this. Actually, we have more people that are on our side, I think, than not. I would maximize value right now. I would maximize the value right now.
Yeah,
but
try to get it even more and try to get. Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying.
I mean, I'm sorry, everybody, but again, they should have already have signed him right away. Said, "Hey, boom, yeah." But now it's only going to get worse, and they're going to overpay, right? They're going to now again, mind you, even if we pay him $37 million, which is some of the comments, his cap hit and the way. Like the Eagles do, well, we originated it and then got away from it, and then the Eagles took it to a better and higher level with the void years. I'll be curious to see, because did you see how many void years they added
6.
to?
I was like, dear Lord.
They didn't even give him a new contract. They basically restructured and added 3 void years to Kenny Clark's deal, right? Is that who it was?
Yeah. I was seeing some of these ones. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to take this away. They're going to take this away if you guys keep playing with it.
The Eagles really showed the way how to do it at this level, adding these amount of void years. And you would imagine that the players union ain't going to go for that much longer, but we'll see. But yeah, even if we paid George Pickens $37 million, his cap hit year 1 will be $8 million. We'll save significant money. So we'll save $19 million probably. It can definitely happen. It's just my question to everybody is, if I said you brought in a Debo, I know everybody, or then you drafted a receiver, right? And you got a first round. I mean, okay.
What I would want to do, okay, so you're okay with him, playing under this money and it being this much base salary and da-da-da-da-da. Well, then structure his effing contract that way. Like, what I'm saying? Right. Where like, okay, I'm paying him $32 million. Okay, so the first year I paid him 27 plus a little bonus of like $4 million or $3 million or whatever like that. And then the rest of it be like structured where he's hitting a lower base salary, but he's getting a bigger, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's structured where now you're paying all of that lump sum. So when you're paying it later, it's not that, how it accumulates and accumulates and accumulates.
It's a lot of negatives. The only positive is you guarantee his rights for 1 year in a year where, okay, we hope that they're going to be better defensively. They better, I think, by like addition by subtraction, they will be better to some degree. But in order to really put a dent into any sort of playoff run, you need to get into the top 15.
Well, that's where I'm looking
so
at.
That could happen, but they're not there yet, people.
Yeah, when I'm looking at this with him, it's just like, what is the window? Yeah, obviously 2 to 3 years. If you sign for a 5 to whatever year contract, by year 3, it's usually movable and stuff like that. So what are we waiting for here? If after that Dak supposed window there, you're going to have to reset and young guys and roster.
Well, Yeah, and we could talk about that, Phil. Everybody talks about, oh my God, these windows. I got news for you. Every team works with a 3-year window. Unless you don't have a quarterback, then everything is a 3-year window when you have your starting quarterback in place. So all these contracts throughout free agency are all 3-year deals, Phil. What does that tell you? There's more turnover now. Even guys that were signed last year, remember how heartbroken everybody was upset that Greenlaw didn't come to Dallas and he signed this mega deal with Denver? He's already gone. He's already back with his old team.
Yep.
Bang, bang, 49er gang. Again, these deals, until you look at the fine print, they're all short-term deals, even these mega deals for the most part. Unless you get into the wide receiver corner, the QB market, that's when you're kind of stuck. Maybe edge rusher, you're kind of stuck, unless you have Mahomes, Vinny Higgins says. So, yeah, I hear you.
Dave Thomas says, when you have guys like Audrey asking for $10 million each year, I have a hard time blaming Jerry for and I agree on that one. I mean, again, what I do like is that there is a line in the sand that is being drawn, and we're not going to look like fools. And so that's where, as I'm a Cowboy fan, I like the fact that you were in on Crosby, and I know a lot of people wouldn't be because of the injury history, but I saw this guy and how he played and how he was always in on the play, and that guy had to be dragged off the field in order to do it. So I can get 2 to 3 years out of a guy like that, and if he's just the type of leader can be in that locker room, I think you need the guy like that also pushing, always confident about, doesn't matter what your record is, but they're going to be confident in the matchup and stuff. So I liked where they were going in that sense, but I mean, it's not 100%. So when you got contracts like this, yeah, you drew a line in the sand. It's with those linebackers. Like, again, I wasn't going to be all about Dean and that history of the injuries, but Quay Walker, like you were saying, that would have been a great hell of a pickup, but he wasn't going to go anywhere without Dean. So I get that 1-2 punch there. Good for them. And I think the Raiders did a lot of stuff this offseason to really kind of help their rookie.
Tyler Lindenbaum, they gave him a fully guaranteed contract. It's crazy to me, but, they've done a lot, Phil. The Raiders have done a lot.
Yeah. So, yeah, congratulations on them on that part. So it's just definitely building a good, solid foundation for when that rookie comes in. And I'm pretty sure they were going to use those couple of pieces, first-round draft picks, to possibly get a wide receiver or something for him. But we'll see how that all ends up by the end of the year because of all these trades and everything. Never know. A.J. Brown could be one over there, right?
Yes. Well, that's probably for another show, but yeah.
So anyways, I wanted to continue on, but as you're talking about that press rusher, obviously Gary gets brought in. You thought, definitely good complimentary piece. I was agreement in the sense that I think he'll be great for what they'll use him for. Will he be an all-pro? Possibly not, but I mean, in the system, you could always be. That doesn't mean that you're that quality player. I don't think the Pro Bowl means shit as much as it used to now. So to me, no, I don't expect him to come out here and do anything. I just expect him to be a role piece, a rotational guy. And it sucks that you're paying a guy, $18 million a year or so to be that role player guy. But with the injuries and stuff that may possibly happen, he might have a bigger role by the end. So how do you like Gary's, that price tag and what he can bring to this defense?
Well, yeah, it's still, again, Dallas was under fire a little bit, not waiting for them to, release him. But now you assume control of his contract. Again, I like him, so I'm okay with it. I actually like the idea that he's coming from Green Bay. Now is he gonna have the stats of a Micah? No, but he's better.
He did restructure.
I know this is a tough one, but in this scheme, you need a guy like him. So
yeah.
I'm not going to compare him.
You need the pieces. Okay, and so in that same realm, of course, a guy like where I've ripped on many, many times, of course, Sam Williams comes back on a nice deal for the Cowboys and a 1-year prove-it deal kind of thing. To me, a guy that I've always ripped on in the sense that always has more personal foul penalties than he has like sacks and any kind of stuff. But then he'll pull a play out of his butt out of nowhere, and you're like, okay, there's the Sam I want to see and everything like that.
Well,
so how do you like Sam Williams?
I told everybody, and I got a little flack over it, Phil. I said I wouldn't mind bringing him back on a 1-year prove-it deal. Did not know that it would be this cheap. You don't find guys Phil, you don't find guys with his size and strength and speed and athleticism very often. When you do, you don't want to let him go. You want to try, and this is his final straw here. Remember, he came back last year off of the torn ACL the year prior. So Dallas has retained him on a 1-year, $3 million prove-it deal.
Thank you. Great catch.
Listen,
right there.
I think it was very good. I think you got to, and that's $3 million max. That's not. I don't think
that was surprising. I mean, to me, I wouldn't have been surprised if they had paid him one for 6 years. Right now, sorry, one for $6 million, and I would still have been like, okay, because I thought that he was going to be asking like a $10 to $11 million price on there. So when you continue on that defensive line, Otito, is that what it is?
Yeah, well, real quick, in the chat, Gary's deal was restructured. The cap hit was 5.4. Yeah, but they did push money out.
But they put a lot of void years on that.
He restructured his contract shortly after joining. It was a $19 million hit. So again, they just pushed it out. Yes, you are correct. You are correct, sir.
But as I'm going into Otito, before I get to him, Wheat comes back at Dallas. I think that because I want to talk about those outside rushers and stuff like that before we go into the interior part of that. Of course, Wheat comes back. What do you think about Wheat coming back? I mean,
again, he plays special teams. He has a history. I believe we're the ones that drafted him. Another guy who I like. Is a rotational piece. Plays special teams. Maybe, with the combination of him and PJ Locke, we may actually be gone of C.J. Goodwin. Finally. But I'll never say never because he never seems to go away. You CJ, nothing personal, man. We just need somebody that can play actual football.
He's the poor man Bill Bates. Just doesn't want to go away.
He's poor. Right? Anyway, I
like the pickup. I was kind of disappointed when he did get signed by another team, but again, he was one of those guys that kept dangling out there, and you had to, man. You had some guys that you were paying as well too. So to see him come back, I think that says a lot about maybe the chemistry or the relationship that they had as well too. So I'm very happy about that move. But Otito, a big guy, right? A guy that's going to kind of fitting more into what Christian Parker's trying to do.
Yeah, very big guy. Let me pull up. Let me see here. Boom, 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 boom. Do I have it? Yeah, he signed a 1-year, $3 million deal as well. Ad size, has played in this league. See, this is, and I liked the pick last year, but Jay Tuia, coming out of UCLA, same college. It's, I'm glad we don't have to rely on a young Jay Tuia who needed to get stronger, even for a big as man as he is. This guy played against Dallas this year. He's played a lot of football. He will add rotational depth and fit in this scheme. So that's the important thing. Is he the best thing? No, but again, you need a deeper team that fits in what we're trying to do. Yeah. Right? That's the whole idea.
Yeah, and as you continue down onto the defense, of course, let's jump up into the top part, go back into that like a richer pool. Jalen Thompson, obviously the safety out of Arizona, comes over from his old coaching buddy, of course, now over here. I think that's where everybody saw the ties there, and of course, Dallas not really spending money on safety since Ken Hamlin, any of those kind of times there, but it wasn't even in big. So right where the safety market was is where they kind of signed him. I'm not a big follower of his work, so I've had to kind of go back and watch a lot of his film where I wasn't familiar with who he was.
Who's that, Jalen Thompson?
Yes. Yeah. I kept hearing the name, but I kind of just still didn't do the research and stuff, and so I'm trying to see some where their weaknesses are at. I love how he positioned himself on the field. Always seemed like he was in the play. Always seemed like he was in his area that he needed to be, reacting to the ball in the air, reacting to the ball being thrown for a run. So that's what you want from your safety, being able to flex and do different types of position, whether it's coming up into the box, covering the nickel, being out in the safety.
You know what's annoying, though?
Boom, Christian Parker's type of scheme.
You know what's annoying to me? Now we have some Cowboy fans that are bitching about his size, right? I thought that we were beyond you have to have a 6'2" corner, right? You have to, and we let great football players go by the wayside because they didn't measure up or fit. Now we go out and get a very, very good safety. He's all around. He can play the nickel, everybody. He can play in the nickel. He could, exactly. He can come forward. He can come back. And he's 5'11", 190.
Right? Same thing, right? 5'11" is like...
He's 5'11", 190. We're hearing, oh, my God, he's short. That's not short for football, number one. Number two, just give me good football players. Stop worrying about their size.
Yeah, I think the problem that I had wasn't the fact that, he might be short by a foot when he's reaching up. It's like, well, I was problem with my safeties before were short by 10 fucking yards. So I need him to at least be somebody that's close. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Stop the download. All right, I think we might be back. You there?
I'm here.
Yeah, no, they're downloading something downstairs. I'm like, really, right now? I'm broadcasting stuff. You guys, this is the time to do it?
Or uploading.
No, they're downloading things. They're downloading a whole freaking video games and stuff like that. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is not the time, that's why I tell them that I'm doing broadcasts and stuff like that, so they don't do this type of stuff. So I got to talk to Comcast anyways, The fact that you should be able to do it.
I ain't gonna tell you.
I'm in the HOA, so I don't have any choice. I have to stay with them.
Yeah.
I don't get to change it over. But anyways, are we back on?
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm sitting there going, are you guys really downloading video games right now? But anyway, so we were told we're going to the next spot of the things, as we're going into the interior part of.
Where were we?
Oh yeah,
where the hell was I?
Pay your bill, exactly. I was jumping into the fact that we traded Osa Digizua. As we're talking about this plans, and Solomon Thomas kind of goes out there, the 1-2, all of a sudden towards the end of the free agency period of one of those days, those two guys kind of get on the move. Was this surprising to you, or again another thing that we kind of saw coming?
Osa. No, I think we all saw it coming. I just didn't know that we would get a third-round pick. I was pleasantly surprised. Yet another time where I got annoyed with the Cowboy fans. I don't know. Everybody was trying to attach him because to trades, and then we do a standalone trade, and then people have a problem with it. The dude is a hell of a player for what he does, but he was not going to fit in this new scheme. 280 pounds is not going to work. You need big boys. So you got a third-round pick, which is higher than what I thought we could get for him, based on his contract and the type of player that he is. Yeah, he's good, not great.
Yeah, when you look at it, I mean, if they had not signed him the year before and he would have gone and played for one of these teams, he did take a team-friendly deal, which kind of makes you feel like that. There's that this is business, right?
Yeah,
and that's what sucks about
that's
it. That's the part that does suck about it, But when it comes down to it, man, that's exactly what happened. All of a sudden, a scheme fit that didn't fit who he was. I thought he was an amazing player. If he had gone, again, what I was trying to jump onto was if he had gone in free agency the year before, we would have had a compensation third-round draft pick for him. So the fact that they were able to get that third-rounder out of the value when the third-rounder was the original pick that they picked him up with, what can you do? You picked him in the third round, you rented him for 5 years, and then boom, you were able to still get your third-rounder back. That's like, somebody buying something from Walmart and using it and then being able to get their money back at the end. It's just as much as that is a bad example, but that's kind of where you're at. I mean, I think Osa's going to be amazing in San Francisco. I think he's going to be one of those
he's going to fit
linemen.
Perfectly with there.
There's like a handful of defensive linemen throughout the NFL that you hear their name and you're just like, yeah, I remember when you were with the Cowboys. Good job,
Yeah. Osa's a good man, and he's a really good football player. Okay, it just didn't fit the scheme. Okay, I could see if we were mid-pack. We were dead last year. Dead last, and I think we would all admit that we were not as good as probably 32. Now, I would argue, since the trade, we were better, but all in all, we were horrible. So people are saying, oh my God, we're going to a 3-4. Well, now's the time. Now is the perfect time. Now is the perfect time to go to a new system. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of the growing pains. We'll see if they can actually win games while they're doing it. So, it was the right move, everybody. It was time. They got somebody to absorb that contract.
Yeah. And I think
And
San
give us a
Francisco
third-round
got a
pick.
very good value from that as well, too, because he's going
Now
to
we
be...
got something to do day 2, Phil.
I was very surprised on that. I was like, oh, yes, there it is. We had to trade Ossoff to get it and stuff. And I think there's still time within. I'm hoping somehow they're able to pick something else up. But anyways, as you're continuing, is there somebody, I know when we're talking about the safeties, of course, we talked about P.J. Locke coming in for a one-year contract as of right now. Great pickup.
Well, I like what we did. I mean, there's a lot more moves than what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We talked about Gary, Jalen Thompson, P.J. Locke, Kobe Durant. We got the corner out of the Rams. Again, he became expendable because the Rams went out and got Watson and traded for Trent McDuffie, both from the Chiefs. The Rams are a team that's in win now, always. I love the way they're operating.
It's the fact that this kind of guy was the lower part of the totem pole.
Yeah, we signed him to a 1-year, $5.5 million deal. Again, he has interceptions. He had, 4 last year alone? So
yeah, he wasn't a starter either. I mean, from what I knew.
He can help you. Again, smaller guy, not small. He's 5'11", $185. I just think he's a good football player. He became expendable because they went out and he upgraded. Doesn't mean he's not good.
And we upgraded by getting them.
Well, he's very versatile. He can play the outside. He can play the nickel. That's what's nice. You're seeing a lot of guys that are being brought in that are versatile. Though if a team goes no huddle, they could stay on the field and be just fine. We saw far too many times, Phil. We saw Donovan Wilson getting taken advantage of, and he's playing center field getting toast. Donovan Wilson was not a good player last year. As a matter of fact, people were, like me, not knowing, were blaming Malik Hooker far too much. And then you come to find out the coaches were like, nah, Malik got hung out on that one because the linebackers were so porous. And, Donovan Wilson's play was not very good. So Phil's screen went blank for a second again.
Yeah, maybe my internet. It's probably something's going on. I got to reset.
I asked him. I said, "Did you do an update?"
I do got. I probably just got to take it back for new modem. Sorry, man. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. We're gonna power through this.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I apologize. But as we're talking about the defensive, obviously there were some offensive moves that were done for this team. Some of them question marks. Some of them you understand where they were going with it. Of course, offensive lineman Matt Hennessy joins over a guy that has some flex. Of course, you love offensive linemen that have some flex. Plays center, plays guard, kind of in that interior of. Do you maybe not know what's going on with Brock Hoffman? So, from what I heard, it was a quick rumor saying that he was going to be signing with the Steelers, but then all of a sudden they kind of squashed that down. Haven't heard anything back about Brock Hoffman, but obviously this is probably that.
Brock is still out there, but he's not coming back.
No,
we brought in a Matt Hennessy, on a 1-year deal to provide interior depth at center and guard. So bye-bye, Brock.
And of course, you put the second round tender on TJ Bass. I think that was a great move by them. Again, I think somebody that could start in your offensive line. I think, to me, who TJ Bass reminds me of as this career is kind of unfolding? Ron Leary. Just a guy,
was a road grader though. Yeah.
Just a guy that and I don't mean it by the sense of his player ability, just in the sense of what he's going to be valued. Comes in, kind of will play that role, plays a very solid role. all of a sudden is probably the weakest out of all those offensive linemen, but then he turns around and probably sign a big contract somewhere once he starts playing with them. This is kind of where I feel with him, but yeah, obviously when LeRon left, we felt it a lot more, just because we could never really fill that hole again, right?
Yeah, Kay says Hennessy for Hoffman is a push. Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know much about Hennessy. I know he's played in a lot of games for multiple teams. Again, Hoffman would get exposed with extended play. Nothing wrong with him. I like his nastiness. I couldn't tell you why they moved on from him. But
he had to be asking price. I don't know what it was.
I don't know.
Maybe he thought he was starting material, and they're like, okay, go out there and see. Someone will pay you as a starter.
But speaking of TJ Bass, we like TJ Bass here. 5.8, I want to say, with the second round tender. So that's fine. Now they can still get a long term deal to lower that number. I don't know that they'll do that.
But then that means you got two guys there that can play a lot of flex within that interior of your line.
Yeah,
so I love
exactly.
it. I'm going to go with Culture Cowboys in the sense as we continue on this offensive line because we're going to go into that.
Them boy kicks.
Obviously, finally, Tobert is off this team. And
he'll go ball out with Miami. You watch. Maybe. Who cares, right?
To me, it sounds like Cedric Wilson all over again. Wasn't Cedric Wilson the one that left us? And he went to Miami.
Cedric, actually. I like Cedric, but I like Cedric more than I did Tolbert.
Oh, yeah, I agree on that.
Tolbert made some great catches, great, unbelievable catches. He would just disappear for periods of time that you just can't do. Yeah. I like Cedric over the middle of the field. He was money, but you need guys like that. You can't pay everybody the top of the market. So, but looking at guys we got again, we talked about it. Brandon Aubrey, what do you think happens there? Or we're, I know it's technically.
I think they play the smarter game by putting that second round tender. Obviously, I know it's us Cowboys fans, we'd be okay with that. It sucks because you obviously lose a weapon that they become a crutch a little bit by, and I think they're aware of it. So I think that'll hopefully kind of change that. But again, I always got nervous once he was kicking past the 50 just because I don't want him straining himself as well. And then the fact that you had him doing kickoffs and everything is too. But if you're going to pay him that, you kind of expect him to. To put that second round tender, I think you kind of put him in that, hey, if somebody wants to come get you, give us a second round. We have some talent here that would be okay. At Jacob Rodriguez, for example, that people have been talking about, and it's a second round. Would you trade your kicker for that? So I know that guy gives you a lot of.
I don't want him to go anywhere, but if somebody's going to sign him, then good luck. I don't know, but this is how it works. We have the right to match it, right?
Yep.
We have the right to first refusal, so it would then be in our court. Don't expect anybody to do that. You saw Nick Folk's new deal, right? Nick Folk's new deal was in the range of 6.4, something like that, far below what he's asking for. Yeah. They'll work out a long-term deal with Brandon.
It's because I think it's a good price because who the hell is going to give up a second-round pick?
Agreed.
Other than the Raiders, it's just. It just doesn't make any sense. So I think you kind of put yourself in a really good spot to kind of help yourself with those negotiations with him. Probably not going to be exactly where he wants to be, but if he was to walk away, I wouldn't be 100% as well against it just because we saw how he was a little bit inconsistent towards the end of the season. You know how quickly a kicker's confidence can kind of go away from him. Hopefully that's not the case, but again, you don't ever know what you're getting with those guys. I mean, you could get them amazing for 1 year, 2 years, and then all of a sudden it just starts going left the other way. But
looking at the kicker market, I don't know. I don't know if Nick Folk was not on here, but Kai Fairbairn is the highest paid kicker in the league right now. It's $6.5 million.
You just got that. Yeah.
$13 million in total value for a 2-year deal. Okay. Harrison Butker, 6.4, 4-year deal. Jake
and I think
Elliott,
that's the nice thing is that these new kicking deals did not kind of bust you up to where you're like, oh well, we got to go back to the negotiating
table. Yeah, they
table.
actually worked out for them. So again, he's technically not the most accurate.
And Arturo,
kicker.
that always gets me. He says there's not much kickers out there except for that anybody in the college ranks. And that's the thing that always gets me, okay? How many effing college teams are there? And you're going to tell me that you cannot find a kicker with all that stuff, with all that lower town, any of that stuff.
Well, we
can't
found
find
a
kickers.
kicker. Remember,
Yes, I know that. I'm just saying in general, the NFL.
This guy, he went to Notre Dame, never played football prior to that. He wasn't even playing football
go
when
grab a
we
soccer
signed
player.
him.
Like, he does amazing corners and stuff,
We had a tryout between him, Brett Maher, and somebody else. And he won it. And we were all holding our breath 2 years ago. Oh, my God, is this guy going to be good? And then he turned into be good.
Yeah, I'm on 50-50. Keep him, don't keep him. Let's just kind of...
I'm fine with keeping him, but he's not going to get $10 million.
Not going to get $10 million. No, come on.
He ain't going to get 8. Right now, the high number is 6.5. So we'll give you 6.7, okay? If somebody were to sign him, they would have to give him, what, over $7 million is the... Because you get it, so, okay. Fine.
Okay, man.
I mean, I'll give him $7 million. How's that? I'll give him $7. To me, I don't feel the need to go 500,000 over, but whatever. If that's what it is, if that 7 mark is what it takes, fine. I don't know that they'll do that though. Do you think they would give him 7? I think they already offered him 7, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know about 7. I think it was pretty close to 7. But again, even if it's pretty close to 7, you're still the highest paid kicker in the NFL. So again, pay him, don't pay him. Like I think they're playing it well, and I think you're going to have to be right under $7 million a year. Just where they offered him. I think Audrey's camp is going to finally realize that the value is just not there.
Yeah, right now he's set to make $5.76 million. So why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? The Cowboys previously offered a long-term deal averaging close to 7, so it wasn't 7. Aubrey is seeking a closer to $10 million a year. Aubrey needs to get over it. He's not getting 10. Okay, you're not getting 10. Stop.
I think my internet's crappy just because everybody's home on Sunday. That's why. That's why I got to do this. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm talking about the whole neighborhood, man. This thing is like Ultra really hits it though. He says, Primetime, your connection is worse than Dak dropping back for a pass in the playoffs. That's pretty shitty, man.
So you have all those great bells and whistles, but
you can't predict shit. Can't see shit. Yeah, I gotta get Comcast out of here.
Well, we got rid of Comcast. We finally got what is it? Fios in here. So I got, I haven't had an issue. Remember, I was the king of issues. I thought I could somehow just Wi-Fi it. Remember?
Chris is right. I got to run a long, hard line, but the modem is all the way on the other side of the house, and so I'm like,
well, that's what I've been doing. Now I just have it right here. But I'm thinking about, or not thinking, since my son is not coming home, they're looking for a house, so he's going to stay where he's at until they get a house. We have an extra room upstairs, so the wife's taking her office and going upstairs into the private room. So then I get the other room over there. I'll have more privacy. It's still not in a room, but it's going to be a new area, so it'll be nice.
Dude, Arturo, Comcast laid fiber optics, and this is what I'm dealing with, man. This is what I'm dealing with. So as we talk about, obviously the another piece of the offense comes back. Fant comes back from the tight end position. Right? Like, that piece. Fant, Princeton Fant.
Oh yeah.
Tight end. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's all right. He's okay.
And then of course
we don't like explosive tight ends. We just go with guys who do it all. Okay.
Sam Howell comes in to give Milton a little bit of
I like that move. I like that move. I like Sam Howell to battle Mr. Erratic, our backup. I like Sam Howell. I do. He'll give Joe Milton the third to run for his money a little bit.
A router in each room.
This is what it's going to turn into.
Yeah, it probably is. Probably just like.
All right. We made
Now I got
it an
too
hour.
much. I got cancer in like 5 years. I was like, I didn't even know you Wi-Fi could give you cancer. But a lot of it can. No. I know if you put them in certain spots, they kind of start fighting each other as well too. But that might not be a bad thing. I used to have like little pods that would go through, but those things don't work for Comcast. So that's what I'm saying. I'm giving all bad reviews on Comcast.
Yeah, the pods. I had a guy come out and like where I'm at, like was a dead zone. You literally had this meter, man. And I'm like, yeah, I was hardwired, but it was still just a signal. And so we were lucky enough able to get FiOS in here. So they just
is a monster.
Yeah. But anyway, let's regroup, everybody.
Yes. Sorry about that. I kind of pull us off by talking about the internet.
Let's bring it in.
They bring it back in, and they keep bringing it back. So, but anyways, as we watched in this combine, guys were getting some ridiculous numbers. Of course, Sonny Styles just blows everything out of the water. Everybody's like, wow, this guy's an athlete. He's a lineman. Man, you couldn't see that by his film. You needed something like that, a drill, in order to get your eyes to open as well. I just think, if you weren't on that board, what kind of football do you watch? I think that's kind of one of the things. So people moving up on the board, not really surprised. I think people running fast, I think that's always a surprise as well there. But anybody from the draft that that you're going into, obviously I know we've talked about the people like Rodriguez in the second round. If you're not able to get your linebacker in the first, being able to trade back, people like Rodriguez, would you be surprised if he got drafted in the end of the first round?
I would not. That's why I said, I don't know that he's a first rounder, but I don't think he gets drafted in the first round. I don't, but I don't think he's going in the second, people. He's going in the top of the second.
Well, and I think that's where, when you talked about how, if you're the first 15, 14 pick, there's only 14 to 15 true valued one picks. Right. Where are those other 15 to 17 valued at? Those are second rounders.
And it sucks, Phil, because this year we don't have the quarterbacks that are going to water down the top 10, right? And let's face it, they get overvalued. Sorry, ex-quarterback here, Phil, but they get overvalued at the top of the draft because you need a quarterback, right? So it'll be interesting to see with where Ty Simpson goes. At what point is the Ty Simpson going to have an effect on this draft? I don't think I mocked him in the first round, but he very well could be a guy that goes in the first round. Again, that would help out Dallas. The more wide receivers that go in the top 10, the better. The more quarterbacks. Let's get another one. Dante Moore pulling out really hurt, even though, we weren't the biggest fans of Dante Moore. I think he would have been taken in the top 10, don't you think, Phil?
Oh yeah. I mean,
makes you wonder why would you pull out, but whatever.
Yeah,
I guess that money, NIL money goes a long way in college, so the money's not as big as it once was. Maybe.
Yeah, I really honestly have no idea what his thought process on that in that sense was, especially since you had some of these guys moving, anticipating that he was going to be going. If you're trying to avoid some of these teams, these teams might be picking from you next year as well too, or I don't know why you would want to come out as well during a more quarterback heavy type of class, where you would be definitely the number 2. Who would you not? The guy that won the national title, and it's you. Can you go any higher? Can you do any more? Can you become
next
the
year,
first
good
round?
luck.
He can't be the
Next
first
year,
pick of the
good
draft.
luck.
Is there anything that unless he balls out, like straight up balls out, and the only reason why Oregon's winning is because he's putting them on their back, that's when he'll be the first pick of the draft. But I can't see that shit happening. And I apologize in that sense because I get more passionate about it, because that's just, to me, other than the NIL money and all that kind of stuff that's happening, it just doesn't make any sense, especially as a second pick of the draft. The money that you would have gotten, that kind of a tumble effect. They go out, the Jets, they go out and get Geno Smith. I mean, again, like I'm telling you, this team might be right back picking you around 3 or 4 next year. So and then their value is even further down than what it was.
I mean, next year he has to go up against guys like Arch Manning, right?
So you're not. That's what I'm saying.
You Julian Sain out of Ohio State, South Carolina quarterback Sellers. These are all big boys too, and they go on and on. C.J. Carr. I mean, he's in the mix, but I just wonder, I wonder. Dante Moore, okay. I think he got bad advice, but maybe he didn't want to go to the Jets, and he'll roll his dice. He'll roll the dice that. Wouldn't it be funny if it was the Jets again next year?
That's what I'm saying. It's like it could be them, and I can't imagine that's why he kind of ran away and stuff. To me, it just seems like you would want a guy like Aaron Glenn on your side as a young quarterback. Not to say that he would know how to develop a young quarterback, but I think there's some forgiveness there, especially with the team being as where they're at. So I think you do have that year period that you'd be able to kind of develop. But I think with the NFL, obviously, you don't give people enough time. This is my problem with this whole transfer portal, is that there's hardly a quarterback that's sitting there with 3 to 4 years under a system. And then you go into college and you go in there and then you play for a guy and then he gets fired because you didn't do so well, because NFL franchises aren't giving guys 2 to 3 years now. They're just giving them the 1 year, and then you got to learn a new system again and then a new system again and stuff like that. So where's the consistency as a quarterback of learning? Because when another guy is in your ear and a different guy is in your ear the next following year and they're telling you to look out for different stuff, you're not developing as a quarterback. So to me, I think it's really hurting the quarterback development going into the NFL, and it's also, with this whole carousel of coaches, doesn't help the quarterbacks as they get in. Now you're having like a Sam Darnold where he has to switch a whole bunch of teams and hopefully just get lucky with the right one, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to, is luck, 100%. Let's see. You alter 3 first-round picks is crazy. Jets have 3 first-round picks next year. They will get Arch Manning. Wow.
Yeah, switch, even if they don't get, package some of those
or
up to
Arch,
move up. Yeah,
unless Arch pulls an Eli and goes,
I won't play for the same.
I don't want to play for the Jets. Wouldn't that be funny? But
San Diego, who was it? Who was it that he didn't want to play?
It was the Chargers. He didn't want to
go
to the Chargers. Yeah, he didn't want to go to San Diego.
His dad being there and this whole thing, I was just like, dude, what a little.
He whined like a little bitch.
But it worked out for him. It worked out for him.
Yeah, yeah, it worked out for him. Yeah. I'm not saying it was wrong on his end, but
no.
Sometimes you got to pull that card, right?
Yeah,
What's up, Marcus?
When you look at guys like Elway and stuff like that and what he did on his draft, like, I'm gonna go right back into the draft. Like, it's just like you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I think it's kind of funny, but anyway,
it worked out for him. But I just don't know about the Jets. The Jets organization. I just don't know if I see them ever turning that corner right now. It's just everything they do turns to you know what. So maybe Arch says he don't want to go to the Jets.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny?
I wouldn't be surprised down that family and how it's operated as well too. So has he done enough in Texas to be able to demand stuff like that?
Maybe, yeah. You're right about that. You're right. It doesn't matter though.
Yeah, unless he blows it up this upcoming year, But anyways, when you look at, as we go and shift back over to the Cowboys and stuff like that, and we're talking about some of these moves that they made or moves that they didn't make, I think that has to be brought up as well too. We were talking about these linebackers that you could have matched some of those deals as well too to kind of get it in there, not busting the budget, for example. I think that was the big thing. Let's say they re-sign their guys and they go ahead and they get Pickens assigned and then they get Audrey and stuff, and then they'd be like, well, that's what we mean by busting the budget, right?
Yeah,
we busted the budget by getting it.
Well, let me rattle off some linebackers that are available still. Everybody understands that we need linebacker, right? I'm not saying we love these players. We don't love them. I'm just giving you some of the highlighted names. Bobby Okereke, New York Giants, 29 years old. He's out there, people. I don't know, he's out there. Bobby Wagner, 35 years old. He's out there. Levante David. To me, they would be more into Wagner than David, but Levante David, 36 years old. Obviously, we cut Logan Wilson and Kenneth Murray, so I don't see them back. Matt Milano, Buffalo, often injured. He's out there. Akeem Davis Gaither, he's only 28, out of Arizona, right? I thought Devin Bush was picked up. so I don't know why he's on here, but maybe he's still available. Just looking at some of the other names. Some of the other names, that's basically the bigger names.
I think any of them you have, you bring them in, they might be good for you for a period of time, but I think you got to always worry about those injuries and stuff when it comes to them.
Now, there is a guy that I talked about the other day via trade, Zaven Collins, out of the Cardinals. I don't know what that would cost us, everybody, but Zaven Collins, you might be able to pull from the Cardinals. Dallas was very high on him in the draft. Maybe as we get closer to the draft, will they take a third-round pick? Do you want them to use that pick on a Zaven Collins?
Right now, I'm feeling kind of like, unless they're going to go out and get somebody that wows me, I'm just kind of tired. I'm tired of this draft capital constantly having to show value. It's like I look forward to the draft to be like, oh, I got this guy and that stuff. No, and don't get me wrong, when you're getting a guy like Pickens and stuff like that for third, I can't argue about that. That's the part that I'm talking about. Where I'm okay with it, just because like you'd be dumb to say no, just because you want to keep your draft picks and stuff like that. Well, there's a chance that this could be that. Well, there's that right there shining right in front of you, and this team is willing to get rid of it. So I'm all for that. It's just those kind of gambles right there that I'm like, I'm just.
David's a beast though, 6'4". He's a big dude. He's the linebacker. We have ties with our coaching staff. Young, only 26 years old. Went to Tulsa. Remember, he was the project guy that Dallas liked a lot. And listen, I just think there's a name to keep out. Just to keep that in mind, everybody. That this could happen. Now, I'm with Phil though. At this point, we're getting this close to the draft. I think Dallas may just be keeping these picks, and you're ready to roll. We like the linebacker. This is a very good linebacker class, isn't it, Phil?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yes.
So,
I can think about 4 or 5 linebackers that if they ended up on your team, you'd be like, all right, there we go, let's go.
Just looking at the linebackers just quickly here. Obviously, Orville Reese and Sonny Styles are both expected to be off the board. But then you got
let's say
CJ
they aren't.
Allen.
Let's say they aren't. Are you pissed off that they're on your team?
No.
Hell no. So that's what I'm saying. You got to add those 2
Sonny
linebackers.
Styles would be fun. He would be fun. But CJ Allen makes a lot of sense. Jacob Rodriguez, we talked about, again, makes a lot of sense. Right down the street at Texas Tech. Josiah Trotter, that's Wade Kuiper's guy, 6'2", 237, out of Missouri. He's good. So, again, there's a lot of guys out there that they could get. So, I don't know, outside of CJ Allen, I don't know who would you feel comfortable with the green dot. Maybe Jacob Rodriguez. Outside of that, you need to get a veteran.
Yeah.
You need a veteran.
Yeah,
so Jock Thompson's out there. Ultra says this is true.
Yeah, I think Chris is right as well. Give me some warriors. Give some guys that want to fight.
Yeah, definitely.
I just felt like there was a lot of rollover and let your bellies get scratched last year, and I need a little bit more of a fighting dog. I think that was a pretty good analogy. But anyways, Bryan, man, not bad. It wasn't the smoothest of events in the sense of this internet thing. So I'll have to try to figure out what's going on there, resetting, things like that. But otherwise, let's be real, man. For a Cowboys that, when you look at the list of free agency stuff that they did, I feel like meaningful things. Now, does that put you over the edge type of stuff? No. But, if you can complement it with some more pieces, maybe that stuff will make a difference later on. I just do like that you're building a solid foundation of a group of core guys. Now, again, are they Pro Bowlers? No. But, again, in the right scheme, anybody can be a Pro Bowler, especially nowadays where they send anybody to the Pro Bowl. So it doesn't mean anybody as much, especially, again, until they bring that Pro Bowl after the Super Bowl, where the Super Bowl winners can go there. And so that means you don't need substitutes and stuff like that. That's the only time it'll really ever mean anything again. But will this defense mean something next year? Obviously you can only add so many pieces, but you can only add the pieces that you have available to you. And we all know that going into this NFL free agency, there wasn't the most deepest of free agents class. So the fact that they got some good solid pieces, I'm very happy about. we all going into this draft, we know there's some solid pieces when it comes to the draftees. Are they superstar type of thing? We don't know. We looking at it from the first flash, we don't see very many of those type of talents here, but that doesn't mean anything. You know, a couple of years you'll be able to do that. So Brian, how are you feeling before we wrap everything up? How are you feeling about the moves that they've done and the strategies that they've had going into?
I like the moves. But we need help. We're nowhere near. Thank God we don't start the season for 6 months. And we're gonna need every day of that to get you better. So we'll see how they come out of this draft. I think they'll do another move or two before the draft, lower level stuff. I still would like to see them get a veteran linebacker. I don't care who, just to have, and then you go into the draft. But listen, they've addressed a lot of needs, maybe not to the level that some people think, but I like it so far. I do like it, and I'm getting excited about the draft. They pretty much were able to bring back. It ain't like everybody says, well, how many guys? Oh, look at the guys that were. Who did we choose not to bring back that are signing with other teams? Not many, right?
Yeah.
Not many. That tells you something. So, but I feel good.
Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to do something here.
Yeah, I feel good.
See if it'll work. Okay, let's try this. I think I found something here. And then, of course, I lost it. Here we go. There we go. There's our window there. This might be an old overlay, guys, so I apologize if there's something that says 2025. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and do a mock draft. I'm just kind of bringing it up, and this is from an old overlay that I have. So if you guys can't hear me or something like that, I apologize.
No,
exactly.
No, I don't know.
All right. So, of course, we're going to pick at the Dallas Cowboys. How many rounds do you want to do?
One.
Sevens? One? Would you do one?
Yeah, I got somewhere I got to go. Yeah, I didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do 2 first round kind of things. Will be yours and mine. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. You want to slow it down a little bit here? Just to kind of guess, we're not surprised by the first one. Of course, Mendoza. Sonny Styles goes off the board. Tackle, Bailey, Love. Reese goes to 6. Wow. Bain. Let's see, who did Washington get? Caleb Downs, not surprising there. See, that's right there. And that's where you're talking about, having to get up in there in the 6.
This is the worst case scenario for you. Yeah, for everybody. This is a worst case scenario.
And I think this one kind of opens it up to say, what would you do kind of thing. So this is, again, up to you in the sense of what you want to do, trade back, value, things like that. So you want to trade, you want to get a safety here. Yeah, so this is what we're talking about in the sense that it is possible. To me, I think the talent is there, that if teams are going to start, drafting for
look at the
talents.
trades. What's the trade there? Is there a trade offer?
All right, so it looks like the Jets at 16, Minnesota at 18, and then the Chargers at 22.
Yeah, so look and see what the Jets are offering.
Okay, so we'll go 16. So give you 12. And let's see if you give 4. We got a 26% chance. We could always push it up a little bit, but I think they wanting the trade helps you with the percentages as well.
Yeah. So just try that.
Okay, we can give them. We'll give you a later one here. No, they're not all about it. So maybe we'll go to 18. Say screw you.
Yeah. We don't want to mess with you then.
All right, here we go. 18 and 49 from 12. And you would most likely get the 18th and 49th pick.
Yeah.
Damn, didn't take it.
All right.
Minnesota trades up to get Sadiq. A good move. You would understand why they were going up there to get a guy like that. Okay.
Oh, CJ Allen went. We got cooked.
So he went to Tampa Bay. See again. Not far-fetched, right? I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if a Tampa Bay type of team went up there and got.
We got cooked on that one. We got cooked.
So yeah, so here you got 18-19, but of course you picked up something later on in the second round. So that was good. You ended up making that day 2 for us a lot better.
Yeah. Okay. So who you taking now?
I would piss a lot of people off, and since they're pretty close to
it's your mock draft.
Oh, okay. So it's mine on this one. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna get pissed off with me.
That's why it's yours. I don't like how it's set up.
Offensive
So
guard, and I'm going to move Tyler Smith out. And then I'm going to go with Mansour Delane, not Mansour Delane, Messidor as my defensive guy. And so, of course, that's the time where you start to get wiped out. You got to go back. You have to, you probably wouldn't trade it back again just because are you extremely happy with everybody that you had there at those exact spots? And this is where you talk. I wouldn't be surprised, where you pick them out at. You could have picked them way later. But again, I think you're getting with a CJ Allen type of thing where, you get wiped off the board. So a terrible, terrible mock draft. Very, very bad.
All right. Awesome. Now I get to do mine. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you go ahead. Go ahead. You're good.
All right.
All right. So here we go. Of course, Mendoza, Ruben Baines. All right, but this looks a little bit more where this is. Bailey goes to Washington. Uh-oh. Look at you. You son of a bitch.
All right, I'm going to go with Caleb Downs, everybody.
Are you sure you want to go with the Caleb Downs?
Fuck yeah, baby. Let's ride. Let's ride.
I have officially... I don't think I should be going to this draft now.
If I get CJ Allen here, you're...
Oh, my God, you do.
Oh, wait. Let's just look at... look at you already. You just assuming. Yeah, we're taking CJ Allen.
Come
baby.
on, man. Let's be sure.
Come on. Let's look and see. Yeah, no, we're going CJ. Come on now. Bang! We did it. We did it.
There you go. Everybody right there. Everybody at the same time. Who we picking? Yeah, exactly.
Eagles got Messidor. There you go.
My draft sucked ass. I was over there in the corner crying. God. So-and-so. Look at that. A plus A. Love it.
There you go, brother. There it is. Caleb Downs. Let's ride, baby. We're cooking this shit. I just found out my dog was getting her tooth pulled. Oh, poor Daisy. Oh.
But yeah. Great job. I love that. That'd be awesome if something like that fell to us as well. But again, you never know how this draft's going to film. But there's, again, scenarios to where our draft board gets wiped out. Obviously, I don't think Dallas's draft board gets wiped out.
Well, that was good that it happened that way. Phil would have did the same thing I did if he had the same draft.
I would have traded back. I'd have been like, son of a bitch. At least I can get started. I'd probably trade back twice or three times.
No, I'm saying if Downs was there, you would have taken Downs.
Yes. Both of those. CJ Allen, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And I'm not even feeling guilty about not having another draft pick until this.
I think you did well. But I think I would have cracked and take either Mekhi Lemon or Dylan Thieneman at 12. Or, see, that's the thing. And we could talk about this real quick. I don't know how much Chidobo Uzo Duribe, our new linebackers coach out of Georgia, how much does he want CJ Allen, and would he take Allen at 12? That's a question for everybody.
As you've wiped out, especially,
Well, like in that situation, I get it. You had Dylan Thieneman on the board, but I think it's more important that we get that green dot linebacker. I may either trade down or take CJ Allen at 12 in that spot. But what's everybody think? That's what I'm saying, everybody.
Yeah, you can't trust me with this draft. I love that, man.
You can't trust Phil.
Yeah, I don't even think I should be going.
Where are my chefs at?
But anyways, Game Time. I appreciate you coming through. I know you have some stuff you have to do as well.
I gotta go get my dog in a little bit, but yeah.
And everybody, I appreciate you sticking through with my wonderful internet issues that I was having. And I would be like, next time I get on that, I'll be yelling downstairs. Next time I get on that, there's no downloading games.
How dare you?
And they're gonna be like, man, they're gonna, there's gonna be a thing. But anyways, guys, I appreciate everybody coming through. I appreciate the chats, the everything. I mean, honestly, I feel pretty good just in the sense that, the free agency is coming through. I think Drew hit it right on the head. Nobody's done anything spectacular, but I think they've been some really good moves. I think each team, you can pick out one that maybe, you may have overpaid in this spot, but you're solidifying a spot that you had of weakness, and I think each team is doing a good job of that. And of course, bringing in talent that they're very familiar with as well too. So nothing surprised me to that. Seeing how you didn't boot me from Phil, subscribe. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I'm all about getting the crap as well too, man. It's not always gonna be 100% for me, and I don't mind that reputation. So Game Time. Anything you want to say to the folks before we get out of here?
Nah, man. I just saw a report to Ultra's point that Dallas might be trying to get Shaq Thompson. So we'll see about that. But yeah, everybody just stay positive. Long time before the start of any real football. We're just getting started here in the offseason. I like where we sit during the draft. Very curious to see which direction they're going to go. Me and Phil will be there. We'll be critical when it's time to be critical. So I'm looking forward to it.
And we'll be like, every time somebody goes off the board that you like, you know, and then there's a lot of them up there that
I enjoy that. This is my favorite time of year. I'm going to download the Beast when it's available and take that with me and alter it how I like it and give you before our pick who I would take and who they should take through my eyes. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, I like it, Kid Cowboy. So anyways, I appreciate everybody coming through, especially on a Sunday. Kind of throw everybody off a little bit. So I appreciate everybody kind of jump into my schedule as well. I know mine's been really, really crazy. So game time, I appreciate you being available for as well too. And
I almost
being able to
about
push
it,
me as well too. So anyways, everybody, I appreciate everything. Make a comment. Let us know what you think about the free agency. If you're just tuning in the second, if you rewatch it, I appreciate it and I love the love. But anyways, one thing I appreciate you forgetting not to do.
Ring that bell.
Everybody take care.
All right, hey. All right, good job, guys. Let's just not come in tomorrow. Let's just take a day.
Talking prime rib in bed. I'm using a blanket as a napkin. That's fancy. That's fancy.
Real fancy.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
Do you want to go do karate in the garage?
Yup.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I think we handled that with dignity.
Free candy!
Joni loves Chachi.